and the return of Kansas versus Missouri. It's all on your home for college football and the College Football Playoff. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Get paid more for your tech. Paymore offers cash.
1 minute, gentlemen, 1 minute.
Including phones, tablets, laptops, video games, cameras, drones, and much more. Paymore accepts new, used, and broken devices, and Paymore offers on-the-spot data wiping. Keep your sensitive information secure. Paymore now has 3 locations, 135th in Antioch, 1415 Douglas and Lee Summit, and on the corner of Westport Road and Southwest Trafficway. Paymore, the smart place to sell electronics.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
KCFX HD4 Harrisonville, K279PI Kansas City, 103.7 FM. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
America's largest all-sports radio station presents the #1 motorsports show for over 2 decades, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Track Talk. I'm Kirk Elliott. Scott Traylor is taking the day off today, but he'll be rejoining us for Monday podcast. So it's Todd Surprise and me here this morning talking racing. How you doing, Todd?
Morning. How's it going out there, everybody?
Yeah. We're going to go a little NASCAR heavy here in the first hour at least.
We were blessed with some NASCAR interviews this week, wasn't we, Kurt?
Yes. We have Ross Chastain coming up in the second segment today. And Daniel Suarez, his Trackhouse Racing teammate, will be joining us in hour 2 exclusively on Racing Boys. And, of course, both these guys are going to be racing tonight at Daytona in the Coke Zero 400. And, anytime you race at Daytona, that's a big race, I think. You got the Daytona 500 in the month of February. And used to be the Coke Zero 400. They used to call it the Firecracker 400, was on the 4th of July. Not the 4th of July weekend, but on the 4th of July every year up until, I think, the early 90s. Then it went to Sunday of the 4th of July weekend, and they used to have it at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I was going to say, it used to be early, right?
Yeah, but, they hardly ever got a rain out at 10 o'clock in the morning, but when they switched it to night, then the trouble came with Mother Nature because it always rains in Daytona in the late afternoon, early evening.
It's Florida.
It's Florida. And you know what? And it's going to do it again tonight.
You're probably...
It did it last night. They got the Xfinity Series race in, but trust me on this, folks. Rain will come later this afternoon at Daytona because it does every day.
And they'll still get the race in.
And I think they'll still get the race in. It might be delayed a little bit, but they'll still get it in. So if you want to listen, I think we've got it here on Sports Radio 810 WHB tonight. But last night, the Xfinity Series race was the main attraction at Daytona. And we had 2 drivers celebrate the win. We had the driver that started the race, Connor Zilisch, who, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, got up to celebrate in victory lane and slipped on the window net and fell down, and that could have killed him.
That poor kid. If it would have been me or you, Kirk, it would have.
But anyway, he broke his collarbone.
He was a young man. He's only 18 or 19 years old. He can survive a fall.
Yeah. But when they hauled him off in the ambulance, nobody really knew how serious it was because if you saw the video of the fall at Watkins Glen after he won his 6th Xfinity Series race of the year, they hauled him off the ambulance.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew the extent of his injuries. And we found out later he had a broken collarbone. So they didn't have a race last weekend, so they had a week off. And so in order to keep his points championship still alive. The rules are you can start the race and get a relief driver in. If that happens, which last night it occurred on lap 13, Parker Kligerman crawled in the car. Connor Zilisch got out, and Parker Kligerman went ahead and won the race.
How about that?
But in the record books, it goes down as Connor Zilisch wins the race. Yeah. And so at the end of the race, when Parker Kligerman was stopping his car on the front stretch, which they normally do to be interviewed and celebrate, out is running on a dead run with a broken collarbone is Connor Zilisch. And I'm thinking to myself,
how about that?
He looks fine to me.
There he is right there smiling.
But he's not fine.
No.
But he's still on a dead run. Of course, he's what, 18?
Yeah, just turned 19.
Yeah, so he'll heal up quickly.
Yeah, he just turned 19 in July. So, yeah, no.
But he gets credit for a record-tying 7th Xfinity Series win of the year, tying Christopher Bell last night. And so the both of them were celebrating in Victory Circle last night. It kind of reminds you of the Rolex 24 where you see these team drivers
they swap
there,
out, right?
You know, putting arm in arm around each other in Victory Circle. It was kind of like that last night.
Well, like you said, you know, if the poor kid that won, he makes sure he's get the asterisk somewhere so that when down the line.
Well, Parker was happy because if you remember in February in the Truck Series race, we thought he was the winner of the Truck Series race and then was disqualified for the ride height.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Not being what it's supposed to be, and the win was taken away from Parker Kligerman in the Truck Series. Now, he does more pit reporting for NBC and is in the booth for the CW's coverage for the Xfinity Series than he does driving a race car now. So he comes from the booth as an analyst.
Absolutely.
Takes the weekend off from doing that and celebrating a win with the real winner, Connor Zilisch, last night
that's pretty cool.
in Daytona. So, yeah, that was the highlight of the night, I think, last night.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Dale Jr., he was happy because he swept the top 3 finishing positions. Had Sammy Smith second, and defending champion Justin Allgaier was third. So Dale Jr. was as happy as could be. Now, he's not the analyst on NBC's coverage anymore.
No.
He just finished up his run as a race analyst for the TNT and the Prime in the middle of the summer. So Dale Jr.'s work in the TV booth is done for the year because NBC is now there, but he was up there celebrating it all last night.
He was up there. So they had a little weather delay at the beginning of the race. So
they did,
some light,
as they always do at Daytona.
So I saw they were doing a little interview with Junior, and he was up there on the pit box talking. So it was, like you said, it was pretty good. My problem was, Kirk, I did not know it went to overtime. How about that?
Because you fell asleep.
Well, they had a wreck, right? Remember they had the wreck, and then they had to clean up, and then they went to overtime. So I went and got prepared for bed and got my computer packed away and everything, and I sat down and I forgot to turn the TV back on in the other room, and guess what? I woke up this morning and thought, I wonder who won that race last night. So I watched it all but the overtime. So I had no idea that we were actually in overtime. So
well, the answer is Connor Zilisch gets credit for the win, even though he wasn't in a fire suit. He was in shorts and a T-shirt, making a dead run out to the he gets credit for the win. And Parker Kligerman was about as humble as can be. He knew that he was given a call by Dale Jr. earlier in the week saying, hey, can you come help relieve Connor? And when they interviewed and they waited till Victory Lane to interview the driver this time. Normally they interview him out on the front straightaway, but Parker Kligerman was just thankful that he was in the position that he was and glad to be of help.
Absolutely.
But he did most of the work last night.
He did 90% of the work.
Yeah.
13 laps. And
I think in terms of the driving, you got to credit more Parker Kligerman than Connor Zilisch.
Well, Dale Jr. will remember that. So there was a heck of a wreck there at the end, too, with some pretty big names, you know. We got
that's typical.
We you know, and what usually happens, though, it's kind of mid-pack back. That was at the, towards the end there. Boy, it caught up everybody. But you're right, Kirk. Tonight's race or tomorrow's race will be
tonight.
Under the lights will be
the Cup 0400.
Lots of sparks.
We'll see these guys on the track for the first time because qualifying got rained out last
night. That's right. Because it's Florida. So
they're lining them up by the rule book. It's kind of a combination of points and some other factors, but Ryan Blaney and Alex Bowman will be on the front row. And this is a big race tonight, Todd, because this is the final race of the regular season. The playoffs begin. I hate that word. I don't like playoffs. I like the old term chase.
Yeah.
It's better. It's not really playoffs.
But the next round starts.
But the real, the big, money races start in terms of going for a championship. Next week, we're the top 16. What we have? We got 14 winners out of 16.
How about that?
This year. So are we going to get a 15th different winner tonight?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Daytona's always known.
You remember last year Harrison Burton won this race.
Absolutely. I mean, throw a dart. Who survives? Who doesn't make it out of the big?
You can't predict who wins Daytona.
Not Daytona. Well, I tell you, some other news. With Humpy Wheeler? That's not something that we thought we were going to be talking about this morning, Kirk. But Humpy Wheeler passed away.
Yeah, we got that news. Thursday?
Yeah, so Wednesday night. So
Humpy
Thursday.
Wheeler is one of the most famous race promoters ever.
P.T. Barnum of automobile racing.
He worked for Bruton Smith at Charlotte for many, many years, come up with a lot of innovative ideas and race promotions. Humpy Wheeler was 86 years old, and he was an icon in the sport, no question about it. So that was big news. But the other big news that came out was the new schedule releases.
How about that?
For next year. And how does that affect Kansas Speedway? Well, there's still going to be two NASCAR Cup Series races next year, but the spring race is going to be in April next year, not on Mother's Day. I hated that when it was on Mother's Day.
I do too. You're not going to. I'm sure Pat Warren's a little happier this morning knowing he doesn't have to go up against another Mother's Day.
But in April, you just don't know what kind. We've had events in April before.
Oh, yeah.
At Kansas Speedway, we had some IndyCar races. And,
absolutely. We'll be all right.
I remember one year it tried to snow in April.
So
they had to push a truck race to a Monday. You remember that?
I do remember that. I was a season ticket holder back. So we're sandwiched between Bristol and Talladega next year. So we're the second week right in April right there.
Shouldn't Talladega be ahead of Kansas?
You would think
it's in the south?
You would think so. So yeah, we're right there, April 19th. I'm like you, Kirk. That's pretty early. Let's fingers crossed. But
this year, that weekend was Easter weekend. I remember going to Knoxville, and we got the races in up there. It was fine.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm sure. Like you said, you can't plan everything towards Mother Nature. I mean, unless you're trying to schedule in December in Kansas. But
the other big change as far as Kansas Speedway is concerned is the Xfinity Series race, which will now be called the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race.
Man, another change.
That was another bit of news that came out this week, as O'Reilly Auto Parts has taken over the title sponsor of what we now know as the Xfinity Series. That race will be in the spring now, and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race will be in the fall. And it's the same weekend in the fall, the last weekend in September at Kansas. But the big change is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race will not be in the spring. It'll be in the fall, and the Xfinity race switches from the fall to the spring.
I'll be darned.
So and there are several other changes. If you look at the schedule, of course, a few weeks ago they announced the road race at the Coronado Air Force Base out in California near San Diego. That's going to be in June this year. So there's no Chicago street race in 2026. Instead, they're going to go to the old Chicagoland Speedway, which hasn't had a race there since 2019.
How about that? So Iowa Speedway, North Wilkesboro, and the Chicago one.
Well, you mentioned North Wilkesboro. That's the other big change. North Wilkesboro gets a points race.
How about that?
This year. Remember,
July 19th.
It hosted the All-Star race for 3 years.
Well,
now it'll be a points race, and the All-Star race will go to Dover.
How about that? That's
in May, the week before the Coca-Cola 600. So that's another big change. And probably the biggest change of all is the final race of the season will not be at Phoenix. It'll be at Homestead Miami Speedway. Remember that track hosted the season finale?
How about that?
For many years, up until just a few years ago when they moved it to Phoenix. But there's a problem with Phoenix, Todd. Phoenix was, the favorite racetrack of Penske. They seem to win all the championship races.
You got to change
the
that
Penske cars.
So you're going to have to change that for them.
So they wanted to, and I didn't want to see it leave Homestead to begin with. I thought Homestead was a perfect racetrack. It's a great progressive bank, 1.5 mile oval. It's a different configuration than Kansas.
Yeah.
But the progressive banking is what makes Kansas Speedway a great racetrack. And Homestead Miami Speedway has that. And I always thought it put on great season enders before they moved it to Phoenix. So Homestead gets it back. But I think what NASCAR is going to do is they're going to move it around to different racetracks.
Yeah.
They're not going to just keep it at one racetrack this year. Well, so there's a lot of changes in the schedules that NASCAR has. You can go to raceboys.com. We got a story about all of the changes that they have made up there. I still think they got too many road courses, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I agree too. I don't like all the road courses, but I'm sure SVG doesn't mind seeing a few more road courses thrown in there. Yeah, I think we're still getting a little bit of delay.
Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back from 810, we're getting a little delay in our audio back here. Thanks. So yeah, that's pretty big news, Kirk. To be honest with you, and you're talking about changing Kansas. I'm starting to think about that. That is, fingers crossed for the weather. I'm starting.
April 19th.
It's April in Piper.
So
I just KCK.
So. I think it's better than Mother's Day.
No. For the crowd, it's going to be great.
They're still going to hold a race on Mother's Day. It's going to be at Watkins Glen.
Oh,
so they're the ones that will
Boy,
suffer
I remember
a lower crowd from being on Mother's Day. I don't think the folks at Watkins Glen are happy about being on Mother's Day.
I remember the day, Kirk, when they didn't race on Mother's Day. That was the NASCAR wives and moms would not allow that. That was part of the. I don't know. Too many races, Kirk. That's what I think.
The other big news as far as the schedule, Iowa Speedway, as you mentioned, is coming back, and it's going to be on the same weekend it was this year, leading into the 360 Nationals weekend at Knoxville, and the Cappy on the same day. Let's hope they have the Iowa Speedway race in the afternoon like they had it this year, so we can go to the Cappy at night.
Yeah.
But it's a problem. I think Kyle Larson will like that.
There you go.
But he's not going to like the next week at Richmond when the Richmond race the following week is on a Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Yeah, so he'll miss his race.
He's not going to be able to race the 410 Knoxville Nationals.
Ooh.
He might go for the qualifying night.
Just to see where he lands.
But he's not going to be able to race at Knoxville on Saturday night for the Knoxville Nationals this year because Richmond is hosting their race on a Saturday night that same weekend.
I'll be darned. I'm looking at that right now. And then you got a street race in San Diego this year, Kirk.
That's it. Yeah,
San
that
Diego.
was a big announcement that came here just, 3 or 4 weeks ago?
I tell you what.
That. It's on an Air Force base.
So can you get me some credentials?
Well,
for that race?
We'd all like to go to San Diego.
I don't make a lot of trips, but let me tell you something.
That's one you want to go to?
I'll sit on I've been to San Diego every few years, and me and my wife, and I'll tell you what, that's a pretty nice little area. You can find a lot of things to do or not do. Let's just say that. I'll go out and cover the races for us, Kirk. I'll bring my Zoom. I'll take the Zoom with us. And
I think we could. That could be arranged.
Me and my wife will go out there and cover it. So
you got plenty of time to plan for.
Got plenty of time. So,
right. Okay, we got a lot of other things we're going to talk about, and we got Ross Chastain coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But there's some big dirt track racing news that's going on around the country. $100,000 to win sprint car race is going to happen tonight at Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California. It's the Gold Cup Race of Champions. They've already had 2 nights of racing, split fields in the high limit racing series. And Thursday night, it was Corey Day, the two-time defending champion of the Gold Cup, winning. And last night, Justin Sanders, filling in for the injured Aaron Reitzel, wins the feature event. Also last night in the World of Outlaws, Buddy Kofoid came from 9th to win the event at River City Speedway in Grand Forks, North Dakota last night. Also a big event that's going on this weekend is the Sprint Car Smackdown for non-wing USAC sprint car guys at Kokomo Speedway. Night 3 is tonight that pays $30,000 to win. Briggs Danner won on Thursday night. And then last night, Kevin Thomas Jr. led wire to wire to win that race. And in dirt late model racing last night, Lucas Oil Late Models at Port Royal Speedway on the slicked off big half mile. Ricky Thornton Jr. mastered that event last night after a battle with Jonathan Davenport during that race. Brandon Shepard finished in 3rd. And World of Outlaw Late Models at Arrowhead Speedway in Oklahoma last evening was won by Bobby Pierce, and he made a bit of a charge up through the field. They'll finish off that tonight at the beautiful Arrowhead Speedway. Oh, by the way, in sprint car racing, Ryan Timms was in a 360 car in Montana last night at Big Sky Speedway for the Harvey Ostermiller Memorial. Now, Harvey Ostermiller is a former partner, and actually he was a boss of Shane Levy, who owns Ryan Timms cars, so that's why they made the trip out to Billings, Montana to race with the ASCS, and Ryan Timms dominated the event, started up front, and led the whole way.
How about that?
They'll be doing that again tonight. And USMTS is in the area. Thursday night, they were down at Electric City Speedway in Butler, Missouri, and last night at Callaway Speedway. Tanner Mullins wins both of those races.
Wow.
He leads all the way in that race at Callaway Speedway, which is near Fulton, Missouri, central Missouri. So they'll be at the Scotland County Speedway up in Memphis, Missouri tonight. So that's a little bit of action that's going on around the country. We'll talk more about some other things in the world of racing, including a drag race I was at last night up at Osborne US 36 Raceway, the Mike Franks Memorial. I was up there last night hanging out. I'll talk more about that a little bit later on the hour. But coming up next, we're going to talk with Ross Chastain, the winner of last fall's NASCAR Cup Series Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway. He's got one win this year, the Coke 600 at Charlotte. He's going to try to get the victory on the
Watermelon Farmer.
Yeah, he's a Florida guy. So how big would that be if
telling
you
right
throw
now
the watermelon off the car at Daytona tonight?
So you know they're not going to forget the watermelon if they got it in the pits tonight, because he's in his home state. So
yeah.
he'll have it.
That would be a big win for Ross Chastain if he were able to pull that off.
He's a nice guy. I always enjoy talking to Ross. It's kind of funny when you talk to him, and every time he's generous with us out here at Kansas Speedway too. We talk to him, but yeah, hopefully today's interview will go just as well.
So Ross Chastain will be joining us next here on Track Talk.
Track Talk.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Hey, this is Stephen St. John. When I was having
You got 4 minutes, gentlemen, 4 minutes.
They took care of me fast. From the first call to the final repair, they were professional, honest, and they did the job right. Summit Heating and Cooling is locally owned and staked their reputation on industry best practices, quality work, and straight talk. I didn't need to do anything but call. If you need help now, visit SummitHCKC.com to schedule today. Summit Heating and Cooling, a company and service you can trust.
Tiger, Dragon, do you have what it takes to win? Be fierce like the tiger, strong like the dragon. Only the brave will survive.
Yeah, that's not how these games work. With Tiger and Dragon from the Kansas Lottery, you can win up to $125,000 or $100K in a second chance drawing.
You are weak.
Ouch. It's not a video game. It's better. Play Tiger and Dragon instant games from the Kansas Lottery.
Let's play.
Yeah, that works. See kslottery.com for details.
This is SSJ for Window Nation. It's the end of summer here in the Kansas City area, and your AC is working overtime. Time to have Window Nation replace your home's windows in 1 day or less. Right now, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That makes Window Nation more affordable on average than other companies. Hurry, Kansas City. This sale ends soon, so don't miss out. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Here they come, turn 7. Green flag goes in the air.
Regular season comes to an end at Daytona.
Brad Keselowski has got smoke pouring out from his white Ford Mustang.
Who will claim the final playoff spots?
Looking for the checkered flag. Here's Shane Van Gisbergen. He wins.
It's the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Saturday at 6:30 on your home for NASCAR. ESPN Kansas City, 1510 a.m.
You can do more in the fall to help your lawn than any other time of the year. This is SSJ. Custom Lawn are my go-to guys. Late summer and early fall is the best time to seed your lawn. There's a lot of confusion over whether you should power rake, verticut, aerate, seed, and what type of seed to use. Do you need to fertilize when you seed or not? Custom Lawn has renovation packages that include 3 follow-up visits throughout the fall. Make the call today to Custom Lawn and Landscape at 913-782-8315 or online at customlawn.com.
This August, Missouri Wagyu lands at Carnadium and Briarcliff. We're talking melt-in-your-mouth flavor from Casey's largest selection of bison, black Angus, and now rich marbled Missouri Wagyu. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned grill master, Carnadium has the cuts to impress. All sourced with care, all priced for value. Come taste the local difference. Visit Carnadium and Briarcliff this August and take your grilling game to legendary status with our unbeatable variety of premium steaks.
From hailstorms to high winds, Kansas City weather doesn't hold back, and neither should your roof. If you're hearing this, your roof might already be trying to tell you something. Pyramid Roofing has been standing strong in KC for over 30 years. Free inspections, reliable repairs, and full replacements you can trust. Be ready for whatever hits next. Schedule your inspection today at PyramidRoofingKC.com or call 816-966-1101. Pyramid Roofing, your home deserves the best.
It's Family Leisure's Factory Direct Hot Tub Sale. We have hot tubs coming in every week. No need to wait for months. Come get your dream hot tub today. Family Leisure also has pools in stock. Don't go another summer without a pool for your family. Come in and see our huge selection of patio furniture. Family Leisure is your one-stop shop for pool tables, shuffleboard, bar stools, and home theater seating. All priced to go. Mention 810 and save more at Family Leisure in Olathe.
913-888-7727. Awesome!
Welcome back. You're listening to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Ross Chastain is joining us now, NASCAR Cup Series driver, winner of last fall's race at Kansas Speedway, but it didn't mean anything because he wasn't in the playoffs. This time, if he wins at Kansas, it'll mean a lot. Ross, how you doing today?
Well, hold on now. I'm doing good, but it meant a lot to win in the Cup Series. Always means a lot, and even though we weren't in the playoffs, like you said, it was still a big deal to win. So, looking to do that again when we come back.
Yeah, just how much did that carry forward? It was towards the end of last year. Just how much did that mean for what you're doing here in 2025? You won the Coca-Cola 600 earlier this year. Just what did that mean, even though it wasn't in the playoffs?
Yeah, it meant a ton. It's a proof that our team continues to work, and we continued last year to show up and compete, even though we didn't make the playoffs. So, it's just this sport is competition-based. It rewards speed and winning, and anytime you can win, it's a big deal. So, it's almost hard to really describe what that meant for us last fall at Kansas.
Of course, you've had a lot of highlights in your career. Probably the biggest one that everybody talks about was they call it the Hail Melon at Martinsville a few years ago. That did you realize in the moment that happened just how much of an impact that would make on racing?
No, I only thought about it for the lap previous to the one I did it on. So I did it on the last lap, the 500th lap, and on the 499th lap, starting the last one, I thought about it. So it was around maybe 15 seconds. So no, I didn't have time to think it through. I just thought, why not? And I couldn't think of a reason why not to do it. And I did it and have lived with the good side of it. Put us in a position to go fight for a championship, but then also making a rule about it or enforcing a safety rule they already had in NASCAR and just saying if you use the wall, you're not going to be able to keep that spot. They'll penalize us. So I think it's the right call, but we did it, and now they've updated their enforcement of the rule.
And that is just something that people will be talking about forever. I mean, 25, 30 years down the road, they'll be playing that highlight. How big is that when you have that kind of an incident that will have a legacy long after we're all gone?
Yeah, I grasped that night after the race. We stopped and got some dinner on the way home. It's about a 2-hour drive from Martinsville down to where I live in Mooresville, North Carolina, and I realized at dinner that it was going to be something I talked about for the rest of my life, and what I'm actually as proud of thinking of and executing that is the fact that we've won races since then. So that was our first year of Gen 7 of our car that we currently race in NASCAR. So we came out of the box strong. We won races. My teammate Daniel won races as well, and but I wanted to continue that. So winning every year since has been really important to me, to make that not the last part of my career. And we've definitely done that by winning since.
Trackhouse Racing has had a lot of highlights this year. Your teammate Shane Van Gisbergen's won 4 road races this year. Just kind of talk a little bit about that and your own season, just where you see yourself with Trackhouse.
Yeah, I'd say we're good, not great. We want more. We want to turn our 19th place finishes at Richmond into 9th place finishes and our qualifying in the 30s into the teens, so give ourselves a better shot to compete on race day. And if we do that, starting at Darlington in a few weeks and going to Worldwide Technology Raceway, come to Kansas Speedway, definitely we put more speed in these cars and we'll have a lot more opportunity to compete.
You did win a major, the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. That's a huge win for you. Do you consider that maybe your biggest win?
I think when I look across the board track-wise, yes. It's hard to get past the first Cup win at Circuit of the Americas back a couple of years ago just because it was the first for Trackhouse as a company, and myself and my crew chief and my spotter. We all won for the first time together in our roles running the one car. So that was big. But, yes, looking at the World 600 and what that race has meant to our sport, to win on Memorial Day weekend and go win it the way we did, they only give out rings for a couple of races, and that's one of them.
Since that time, there has been some challenges. You had some top 10 finishes here, but what's been the biggest challenge throughout the summer months?
I think just the speed is where I can't really look past that. I have to talk about that. I haven't been fast enough. I can't make the speed in the car, so I'm trying to understand what I'm doing wrong. We're trying to understand how we're building the car and what we need to do better. It's a tough balance because the way we do things got us here, and we've won races, but the way to compete into the future is a tough task to try to tackle. So we'll see. We're making changes. We are trying to put our company at Trackhouse in the best position to compete across all the cars moving forward.
Well, this car has really done well on the intermediate racetracks. Kansas Speedway been one of them. Very entertaining races at Kansas Speedway over the last couple of years. What did you learn in the spring? You didn't have quite as good a run in the spring, but what did you learn in the spring that you can carry forward when you come back to Kansas coming up in late September?
Yeah, it's just another data point to see what we think we did good and what we did bad, and I feel like that's what makes this sport goes in cycles. And yes, we were able to win last fall, so we know what we did there. We captured all that information, and we know what we've done the other, 8 or 10 times that I've raced there for the number one car. So we'll keep showing up and keep competing, and it's a whole body of work that goes into competing in this sport, and I feel like that we've got the pieces are here for Trackhouse to be really successful. Now, actually going to executing that's tough.
When you threw the watermelon off the car after a win, how did that get started? Is that something that you just thought about doing, and was that spontaneous the first time you did that?
Well, having the watermelon was intentional, and holding it up in victory lane was definitely planned. But the first time I won in the Xfinity Series, my first national series win, I just sat it down and carried it around. I didn't know what to do with it. So we eventually decided to bust it open and eat it, and some people videoed it, and the tradition was born out of a very spontaneous, very not planned series of decisions. And then after I did that, I thought, I'm going to do it when the bright lights are on, when the cameras are focused on me. I'm going to hold the watermelon up on the front stretch and do it for the fans to see. And there's some excited people when I come out in the grandstands with fresh watermelon passing out.
Hey, I do remember one time you didn't do it. You won the truck race out at Kansas Speedway one time. You didn't do it, but you came back and did it for that win after that. Was that the next year? I can't remember, but I remember one time you didn't do it after a win.
Yeah, somehow we didn't have a watermelon. I don't understand how we dropped the ball, literally dropped the watermelon. We didn't have it. So there wasn't one to be found. We were searching after the race. Nobody had one. So I had no family there. Now Trackhouse plans and we prepare to win. So that was my first Truck Series win ever, and we weren't expected to win. So definitely we learned our lesson there. We've always got one in the hauler now.
Hey, before I let you go, you've been on wearing the seat belts. You want people to go out there and make sure they put the seat belt on. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a simple message and an idea that a lot of us have grown up knowing, but yeah, we call it protect your melon. So we want you to get to where you're going safely and wear your seat belt. It's the single best thing you can do inside a car or truck or whatever you're driving down the road in to protect yourself in the event of a crash. And it's something that I've realized through my 9 seat belts in the race car. If I hold myself in my seat in my Cup car or truck or Xfinity car, that is the best way I can protect myself. And it's the same when I get in my Chevy truck when I get out of the race car and I drive to the airport or I drive home. So just trying to remind people of stuff that we already know, but people are still being injured by not wearing their seatbelts. And we also want people to get where they're going safely and use their melon and drive sober. We don't want people distracted or intoxicated. So, look, I like beer. I drive the Busch Light car, but I have a plan. I have a ride. Don't get behind the wheel when I'm going to drink. So it's simple stuff, but I'm going to keep reminding people because there's still people today in this country and in the world that are not making the right decisions, I believe, and I want to get home safe just like I want everybody else to.
Ross, we appreciate you spending time with us. Can't wait to see you when you come out to Kansas Speedway on September the 28th. Best of luck to you at Daytona.
Appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Ross Chastain, driver of the number 1 for Trackhouse Racing, and we will be back with more coming up. Stay with us.
Track Talk. Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications.
3.5 minutes, gentlemen. 3.5.
Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff with Lewisburg Ford, Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Do you have any good deals going on pickup sale?
We got great deals, Toby. Right now, we've got amazing incentives. Always $50 over invoice, only at Lewisburg Ford. But listen to this, 2024 F-150s up to $16,000 off of top MSRP. Plus, you get a 2-year free maintenance plan when you buy from Lewisburg Ford.
Whoa, that's good.
Absolutely. And listen to this, on 2025 F-150s, we've got 0, 0, 0. 0 down payment, 0% interest for 48 months, and 0 payments for 90 days, along with a 2-year free maintenance plan, Toby.
Am I able to get a lease?
Absolutely, Toby. We got a 25 F-150 Super Crew STX, 36-month lease, only $499 a month plus tax with 10,500 miles.
I'm on. Okay, but everything else, you buy at $50 over your cost.
Every single day, $50 over invoice at Lewisburg Ford, and only at Lewisburg Ford, Toby.
It goes on all the time. What's your phone number?
816-444-2300.
LewisburgFord.com.
The reviews are in, and everyone loves Zarda Barbecue's new crispy smoky chicken wings. Perfect for tailgating in the parking lot or on your own couch. Just be ready to clean off those sticky fingers. Zarda's wings are slow smoked, seasoned, and dropped down for a crispy smoky finish. Try them naked, covered in raspberry chipotle, hot honey, or a Memphis dry rub. Order them by the dozen or the half dozen for a limited time. Crispy smoky chicken wings only at Zarda Barbecue. Come get some.
It's game time at Heartland Chevrolet in Liberty. Step into the huddle with their friendly team and score big on your next Chevy. Every new Chevrolet at Heartland Chevrolet comes with a free lifetime powertrain warranty, so you're covered all the way to the end zone. From the versatile Equinox to the powerhouse Silverado, Heartland Chevrolet's got winning deals to move the chains. Transparent pricing, easy financing, and all-star service. Come see them today at Heartland Chevrolet, where nice people buy from nice people. Visit them just north of the Liberty Triangle or at heartlandchevrolet.com.
1 minute.
At Advent Health, we believe wholeness isn't any one feeling. It's all of them. Laughter to tears and everything in between. So let your hearts overflow. Let your spirits dare to hope. And let the sun shine through. May you always live in wonder, wondering at this life. And never ever stop reaching for what makes you feel whole. Learn more at adventhealth.com/human spirit.
College football season is here. That means the return of Sports Radio 810's College Game Day with Danny Clinkscale and Stan Weber every Saturday at 9 a.m. And we're bringing you 2 big weeks of college football action to kick off the season. One of the biggest matchups of the season with Arch Manning leading Texas against Ohio State. And the return of Kansas versus Missouri. It's all on your home for college football and the College Football Playoff. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Kirk Elliott here. Scott Traylor is taking the day off. He'll be rejoining us for our Monday show, mostly motorsports, which we podcast, and we have it up on our podcast section on racingboys.com. So absolutely. Scott will join us for that show. Today is a big day in college football, Todd.
How about that?
My team is playing. I'm an Iowa State fan. Anybody's listened to this show for a long time. I'm an Iowa State alum.
We know you are.
One of the biggest games of the year today, Todd.
That's what I hear.
Kansas State.
It's the big one.
They open up the season with Kansas State, a conference game in Ireland.
How about that?
And so
I'm
11 o'clock our time is a night game in Ireland, but it's 11 o'clock our time.
I'm surprised you're not getting on the flight and flying to Ireland.
Costs too much money. Plus, we got a lot of racing going on.
You got a lot of racing to go.
So now I'll be watching that game today. So these games start counting for real now.
They do. I know my daughter.
Chiefs played last night. That was not a real game.
No, first 3 quarters looked pretty darn good though. Here's how fast it went, Kirk Elliott. I went to put the game on and get everything ready because I'm editing some videos. I turned on, the Chiefs had already scored touchdown and had a field. It was already 10-0 or something, and And then I turn it on, and Patrick throws another touchdown to Rashid Rice.
I listened to a little bit of it coming back.
I was like, I couldn't believe it.
From the drag races last night. So the Chiefs get a week off now, and then it starts for real the week after that.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
Talking about, so you got a team playing in Ireland. And
they're going to Brazil to play the season opener.
The season opening for the Chiefs in Brazil.
Who are they playing that day?
Boy, I'm going to drop.
Jay could probably help us out.
Who is that, Jay, today?
So that's coming up. So go Chiefs.
Hey, my daughter and one of her best friend, who's an Iowa State alum, is going to be going to one of the football games this year. And she said, "You think Kirk will be there? It's Iowa versus Iowa State. Are you going to be there,
I'll
Kirk?"
try to get up to at least a game a year.
Well, she's going to the Iowa State game.
That's in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
That's on September the 6th.
That's what she said.
That's coming up. So Iowa State playing two of its biggest games of the year before the 6th of September is done.
So I told my daughter she's going to be right there in your neighborhood, Kirk, up there in your neck of the woods. So
we're going to find out quickly what we got. K-State's a really good team this year, too.
I saw some pretty good numbers
on
them.
They had a 3-point. They were a 3-point favorite. The Wildcats were.
Yeah, so. I saw they had some pretty good numbers looking at them.
So it is for real. Well, listen. Last night I was up at US 36 Raceway at Osborne for the opening night of the Mike Franks Memorial. Sadly, we lost Mike, the owner and founder of US 36 Raceway last fall, and Mike is such a big impact on racing, not just in drag racing, but all kinds of racing. He built a really one of the famous dirt tracks in America, US 36 Raceway, hosted many World of Outlaw events and a lot of other big events up there. And to honor Mike, this weekend, if you're a drag racing fan, head on up to US 36 Raceway near Osborne, Missouri, just a few miles west of Cameron on US 36. Last night, I was up there hung out, watched a few of the cars go down the drag strip. And what this is, it's they're putting up some money up there. One of the big sponsors of the event, Race Star Wheels, is adding to the purse. There is a $10,000 guaranteed to win King of 28s. I talked to the guy, what is the King of the 28s? Well, 28 is a tire
size.
And it's it heads up racing.
That's right.
You got to run steel roof and rear quarter panels. The rest of it you can run anything.
Run what you brung.
Run what you brung. So anyway, the King of 28s is the featured attraction this weekend up there. There'll be, I think, a half a dozen or 7 different winners this weekend. But Kendall Goyne, a guy I talked to last night with King of 28s, explained it all to me last night. He himself took a car down the racetrack tonight at 176 mile an hour, Todd.
Wow.
440 at 176 mile an hour. Ryan Mitchell from Kansas City, Missouri, went 433 at 183 mile an hour. Now, these are, that's pretty fast for these kind of cars.
Well, let me tell you, I sold my Mustang this week, and I had one last ride in it, and I definitely did not go that fast in it, Kirk Elliott. I can tell you that. I may have.
And this is an 8th mile drag strip, not a quarter. This is 8th mile.
That's getting it. And if you've seen some of the video, I saw some people who are shooting some video. The place looks really nice.
It does. They resurfaced the rest of the racetrack. It's all concrete now, and they smoothed it out. And it's a really nice 8th mile drag strip up at US 36 Raceway after the resurfacing they did here a few weeks back. They tried to hold this event here 2-3 weeks ago, and it got rained out, you remember?
That's right.
So it's rescheduled. So if you want to check out some great drag racing, head on up to US 36 Raceway tonight. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about weather. There's no issues. So I for one, I'm glad that we do have a drag racetrack close enough you can still go to. We got Flying H over here too. So whichever direction you're wanting to go, you can still see some drag racing. But, go out to the Mike Franks Memorial. That's a good place. I'm glad you were out there last night, Kirk. You said you talked to.
Yeah, it was fun just walking around, checking out all the cars, the different cars in the pit.
You talked to Mike.
The great thing about drag racing is you can buy it at ticket to get in, and you can go through
everywhere you want.
Yeah.
Anywhere you want.
And so that's the cool thing about it.
You talked to Mitzi or
Ruthie.
Ruthie. So I don't know why I was watching something on with
and Jerry Franks.
Jerry Franks.
He's racing too.
That's what you were saying. You had a car running too.
Yeah, I saw him go down the racetrack. So racer gates open at 3, spectator gates at 4, racing at 6 o'clock tonight at US 36. Now, what I saw last night was mostly test and tune. Tonight, it's a real thing. They're racing tonight. So tonight would definitely be the night you want to get up there for the first annual Mike Franks Memorial Race.
Good stuff.
Also, 305 sprint cars are at Central Missouri Speedway tonight. So if you want to see some sprint car racing, they've got them, the Race Saver 305s at Central Missouri Speedway tonight. So, and the full fender blowout, they call it, at Lakeside Speedway. They're going to race tonight at Lakeside.
Sir. They had a little bit last night, and they're finishing up
two-night show for that?
Two-night show.
So,
I think that I know last night I know they were running out there. I saw Lisa post some photos. So, out there again tonight. So the hill was full. I know that. I know a lot of people were talking about the hill was full up there. So have fun out there.
A rare Saturday night at Lakeside Speedway.
Absolutely.
So Valley Speedway, I-35 Speedway, a couple of other racetracks. Lucas Oil Speedway, they're running their weekly races down at Wheatland tonight. So there's several options for you if you're into the oval track racing.
And then you got
that's what old Mike Franks call it.
That's right, oval track race.
The circle. He called it circle track.
Circle track.
The circle track race.
And then 1510 will be carrying the the Daytona race.
Yes, that will be on ESPN Kansas City, our sister station.
That'll be a good deal.
If you want to listen to the great coverage from Motor Racing Network on the Coke Zero Sugar 400 tonight, where Ryan Blaney and Alex Bowman will be on the front row, set by the rule book because qualifying got rained out. It really doesn't matter where you start at Daytona and Talladega.
Nah.
It really doesn't.
Nope, it does not.
But what does matter is where you finish tonight, because this is the last go-round for the playoffs next week. I hate using that term.
Yeah. Well, the reason why they call it playoffs
start next week at Darlington.
Yeah. The reason why it's playoffs is because teams are going to start being eliminated after a few races.
Yeah,
right?
But they can still come back and race every week.
No, I got you. But I'm talking about out of the competition for the championship. So that's how they justify calling it the playoffs. But I'm like you, Kirk. It is what it is. But boy, tonight I love watching it and under the lights. I don't know. There's something about seeing those sparks flying.
As long as it doesn't rain, we'll be all right.
I saw somebody in the chat room said it's raining now, but maybe by tonight we'll be in good shape. So how about that?
Of course it's raining in Daytona. It always does. It rains every day there. The trick is to get the track cleaned up, and they dried the track pretty quick last night.
Well, yeah, so they're professionals down there.
I'm betting eventually they'll get it in tonight. We just don't know how soon. But the points are something you need to watch for, because 16 drivers head into the playoffs tonight, beginning with the Southern 500 at Darlington. There's 2 drivers that have not won that are ahead of the bubble. They are Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman. Those 2 guys are the only 2 of the top 16 that have not won this year. But Alex Bowman has 60 points to the good. He'll start on the pole of tonight's, or on the outside of the front row of tonight's race.
So
Alex Bowman has 60 points to the good, and on the bubble on the outside looking in are Chris Buescher, Ryan Priest, 94 points back. Let's be honest here. The points are so separated out, you got to win to get in. If you want to go to the playoffs next week and you're on the outside looking in, you better figure on winning the race.
Oh, I completely agree, and I'm going to pull these odds up. That's just going to show you that nobody knows who's going to win, Kirk. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those deals where you're just just throw a dart. As long as you're in the...
You can't predict who wins Daytona or Talladega.
You need to be in the top 15 with 2 or 3 laps to go and to have a shot at this, or 5 to go if you have a shot at this thing. So I'm gonna go out on, I don't know, who would you pick today, Kirk? I mean, how do you...
don't know. I mean, it's like throwing darts at a board. I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I know who
William Byron would be a guy that I think you'd first have to look at. He's back-to-back Daytona 500 winners. He's leading the regular season points right now. He looks like he's going to be the regular season champion, as he's got a little bit of a lead on his teammate Chase Elliott right now. So I suppose if I had to pick somebody, I would say either William Byron or maybe even Chase Elliott.
Yeah. So here's your odds. Logano's your best bet today. So Logano and Austin Cindric.
Now, Austin Cindric I get because he won Talladega, but why would Joey Logano have the best odds?
I'm just reading. There must be just some money be going in on it, because if you look on this thing, Logano, Cindric, early odds favorites, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and William Byron. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick Blaney today, Kirk. And I'm going to go with Chase Elliott as my backup.
Blaney's got one win this year. He won
right.
at Nashville earlier this year. William Byron's got 2 victories. Yep. He won here a few weeks back at Iowa Speedway, and, of course, he won the Daytona 500. Chase Elliott's got 1 win. Yep. He won at Atlanta.
So who
back in late June. If I had to pick somebody, I'd have to go with William Byron.
Yep, William Byron. Is there anybody there that's – almost all these people in this top has already got a win this year, right? I mean,
I'll tell you one guy who could do it, Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, that's true, and he's your 5th. He's
if you want to go for a longer shot.
Well, you know what though, Kirk? That's a pretty good bet. Plus 1,400. Bet $10 to win $150. That's not bad. That's some pretty good odds there you can get for Brad Keselowski. That's not a bad pick, Kirk. But
Kyle Larson is a long shot.
Sure
Why?
is.
Because he's never won at either Daytona or Talladega.
How about that?
But he finished second at Talladega here a few weeks, back in April.
So Ross Chastain, who we just interviewed, you plus 25 or 22. So you bet $10 on Ross Chastain today, and you can win $200.
Ross Chastain's got a plate win. I call it a plate win. It's now a super speedway win.
Yeah.
Used to call them plate races.
Plate restrictor
when they ran
racing.
Restrictor plates,
Yeah.
but now they're
It's
super
just tapered
speedway.
now.
Well, Ross Chastain won one time at Talladega here a few years ago.
So, and it's his hometown, so he could.
If he were to win at Daytona, he could do it. Hey, I just want to put out congratulations to Scott King of Northville, Michigan. He is the winner of the Corvette.
How about that?
At the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. His name was drawn on Monday, so he is the big winner of the 2025 ZR1 Corvette, plus $30,000 cash for the Corvette sweepstakes. 1,064 horsepower Scott is going to be driving around. How about that?
So all the policemen up there, and where'd you say he was from, Kirk?
Northville, Michigan.
Michigan. So be on the lookout for this yellow beast flying through Michigan up there.
And tonight would be a good night if you haven't seen the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, because tonight is the final regular season night at Knoxville for the sprint cars. Now, they got the late model nationals coming up next month, but this is the final night you can see sprint cars in 2025. Austin McCarl has already wrapped up the 410 championship this year, so check that out and head to the Hall of Fame. It's open 7 days a week, though, so while you're there, check out the Manzanita Speedway Salute at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
Bob does a great job up there.
Yeah. Thanks to Jay Powers for helping us out. Todd, great job as always. We're going to be here exclusively for Hour 2 on RacingBoys.com, Facebook, and YouTube. Stay tuned here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. College Game Day premieres the 2025 season coming up
Kick it off next.
Woo. Appreciate you tuning in. For my partner, Scott Traylor, I'm Kirk Elliott. Thanks for joining us. Join us again for Track Talk next Saturday morning.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Hen House is where you go to answer the age-old question, what's for dinner? Hen House has delicious family style.
Ooh, that was a rough one for me, but I will see you guys next week.
All right, perfect, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Have a good week.
So I said, no, you don't give me that.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Sure, especially sportswear in-house. We do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other ad specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that to build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
From the circle track to the drag strip to off-road racing, Rod End Supply has been keeping their customers at the front of the field since 1989. Whether you need rod ends, tubular rods, or specialty products, Bob Douglas and his Rod End Supply staff are always ready to help you with your needs. You can visit them on the web at rodendsupply.com or call them at 800-284-2902. That's 800-284-2902. Rod End Supply, keeping you at the front of the field.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sabres 33 RLP. Let's go take a tour. Coming into this animal, we're going to take a trip back here to the feature of this trailer, the deck. Check it out. It's awesome. It's 4 by 10 feet. You can dance on this thing. Boom! Check it out. It's pretty nice. And then coming to the back of this thing, you got a 75-inch TV. It's huge. 60-inch fireplace. It's nice and big, keep you warm. Then you got an ottoman that converts into a table, if you will. Maybe some TV trays. Then this hide-a-bed that I'm pointing at, it comes out and folds into like a king-size bed with storage in the corner for all your linens. Great little addition to the trailer. Your dinette, of course. Then you're gonna come around to the kitchen with the tic-toc sink. It's got the spritzer and the waterfall and all that stuff. Residential style refrigerator. It's got the microwave and the oven that's residential as well. Big old pantry over here with motion detected lights, coffee bar, and then coming up to the bedroom, you'll have the bathroom first, nice and spacious with a seat in it for them ladies. And then we got the king size bedroom with washer dryer hookup. I'm telling you, this is a home run for a couples coach. Come and see me, Kyle Walker.
Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
So we have a lot of folks come in interested in traveling for work. This is going to be a great option. Your Coachman Northern Spirit 2565 front kitchen. You have a nice wraparound full front kitchen here. Huge windows up top. Big 12-volt refrigerator. Lots of windows on the sides here. Great natural light coming in. You have your big TV over here on the swing arm bracket so you can kind of see it from any point in the room. Also have your bar stools here. Sit and eat your breakfast. In the bedroom, you're going to have a king-size bed in the slide-out. Lots of storage underneath that. Washer, dryer, hookup. Tons of storage with the drawers. Then you got your full bath across the back. When it comes down to a camper that you can get for 6,500 pounds and be under 30 feet long, this is an absolute home run.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum. And our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, sprintcarstuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey everybody, this is Larry the Cable Guide. You are listening to RacingBoys.com, and if you're not, I swear to you, get in your truck or do something, but get the hell out of this country, because you don't belong in it if you don't listen to these fellas.
It's time for America's most unique motorsports show, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Back with Hour 2 here on Track Talk. I'm Kirk Elliott. Scott Traylor taking the day off. Again, he'll be back with us on Monday for Mostly Motorsports. You'll still hear his voice on a couple of interviews that we did on Monday's show that we'll highlight during the course of this hour. But, Scott went up and got the RV back from Knoxville in one piece, and he said, and he did it all in one day, Todd.
Yeah.
And he said, I drove 8 hours. That's a long way.
Don't blame him. Probably didn't get.
I would have probably done it a little different.
Yeah.
I might have gone up and stayed in it and then drove back.
Yeah, drove back.
But that's just me.
He probably got bored up there and was like.
We had to get the RV back because we're going to be using it here
Jesse
in the
next
few weeks.
Coming
Yeah,
up.
we got a few events coming up here, so we had it up there all year from April. I think we took it up there in early April and just now got it back. So Scott got it back in one piece, and he said, I got to rest up after an 8-hour trip. And I said, you go, man. That's all good. So I think he probably might head out to the racetrack tonight after a good night's rest. So, yeah, I can't hear you, Todd.
Sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of people will be heading to the tracks tonight because it looks a little gray out there here locally, but I think what I've read, though, Kirk, we're going to be fine. It's just going to be cooler temperatures, and that's all we've been wanting around here for the last couple of weeks. I mowed.
Been a hot summer.
Yeah, I mowed grass all day yesterday, Kirk, and it was, even though it was cooler, it was still hot out there.
Your mower's got to work out this year.
Boy, I tell you, don't normally be mowing all the way into this many weeks or days a week.
Yeah.
This far into the season. My grass is still green, Kirk. Normally it's already burned up.
It never did brown up, did it?
The only part that browned up, Kirk, is by the driveways. Normally that's where it burns because the driveway gets so damn hot that it kind of cooks that grass along the driveways. But let me tell you something. I drove me a new car. I got me a new car I drove in today finally. My first time.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Haven't even seen it. This is the first time I've driven.
When I got here, you had gone out to maybe grab something to eat.
Yeah, I come in. I get here real early, make sure everything fires up, and I went and get me something to eat, and then I come back.
We'll see it after the show today.
But it was the first time driving over.
I think I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, I texted you a picture. I got me a new.
It's a white car.
White.
Yeah.
It's just like your car, but it's.
You kept the old one though.
I've still got it, Kirk. It's going to be my extra. It's my extra ride.
But your Mustang is headed out.
It's on to the next guy, whoever that very well may be. My brother was a little sad, Kirk Elliott. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't going to tell him. And see, that was my brother's car originally, and I purchased it from my brother.
You broke the news to him?
I broke it to him yesterday because I got stuck in my. We've got a giant ditch in my yard where the water goes down, and I got stuck in the lawnmower yesterday, so I had to use his big pickup truck to pull me out. And he said, "Where's the Mustang?" And I said, "Well, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I sold it."
So he brought it up. Where's the Mustang?
Where's your Mustang at?
So how do you take the news?
I wish I would have gotten to drive that one more time, is what he said.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he really wanted it, but see, he's got a couple boats. And you can't, when you got boats in the driveway, you can't just have an extra car. We live in an HOA, Kirk, so you kind of have to adhere to certain rules. We don't adhere to all of them, but
now that stands for
Homeowners Association. So there's do's and don'ts of what you can do when you live in a neighborhood like that, right? You can't leave your trash cans out, or you can't, paint your house.
You got to obey the rules.
Can't
Even though you own your own property, you got to obey the rules.
There's certain things, and I get it. You don't want your next door neighbor to be rebuilding cars in your neighborhood if that's what you're wanting. So anyway, that's what happened yesterday, Kirk Elliott. I drove around a little bit. I went by Lakeside Speedway. I saw they were getting ready to roll. They're going to be there again tonight. Valley Speedway tonight. You got a lot of choices if you're going to be racing. If you're going
305 sprint cars at Central Missouri Speedway tonight.
Just all kinds of options.
Hey, I want to put out a congratulations to J.P. Flake. Or Fulke, I'm sorry. I mispronounced
That's it, Fulke. You got it right.
J.P. Fulke, who is the king of Kansas City in the POWRi Midwest
How about
Lightning
that?
Sprints. He won the feature event at Valley Speedway last Saturday night in the number 45 car. They had, I think, 14 cars down there.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that on our podcast. But yeah, that's
J.P. Fulke, the king of Kansas City. Congratulations to him. Also, congratulations to Xavier Doney, who wins the State Fair race at Sedalia.
Big race
last Sunday night. And we have Xavier Doney scheduled to come on Monday's Mostly Motorsports
How
show.
fitting is that? And then we got two first-time winners also, Kirk, on our podcast. We had Samuel Wagner and Chris Martin. Both of them picked up a win out at Lakeside Speedway, their first wins out there. How about that?
A week ago on Friday night.
And we had them on our podcast last week, so that's episode 373 if you're keeping score at home. So if you want to go back and get that episode and download it, it's a really good episode. And then what we went ahead and did, Kirk, I went ahead and threw the Ryan Timms interview up there because we did that Ryan Timms interview the day after our Mostly Motorsports show. So I decided, you know what?
It was a separate podcast. He got his own podcast.
He got his own podcast, and it was 40 minutes long. It was a good enough interview, and he had so much.
Why not? He's the Knoxville Nationals champion.
Let me tell you something. 20 years from now, who knows where that kid's going to be? Yeah. He might be the king of the world.
Well, guess what? He's won 2 races.
That's
since
what I was going to say.
Knoxville. He won last Sunday night at Houston Speedway.
That's right.
And then last night in a 360 car out in Billings, Montana, he wins the opening night of the Harvey Osser Miller Memorial Race, and he dominated. He started up front and led the whole way.
Yeah, he talked about that in that podcast. We asked him what else he was going to do, and he said he had some races that he'd already had scheduled, regardless of what he'd already done in the Knoxville Nationals. And so I know that race last night meant a lot to him because he mentioned that in the podcast, as well as the one he won at Houston. So pretty cool stuff, man. Young kid. He's the same age as my son, like the same age. And my son, like I said,
He'll turn 19 just this week.
Yeah, my son's already 19, so he's a little young. And like I said, these kids nowadays, Kirk, they're a different type of. They seem like adults. I don't know. They just have their heads on their shoulders pretty damn good. And it was a really good interview. So if you want to go back and listen to that interview, episode 374 of Mostly Motorsports. So we'll be on 375 tomorrow, Kirk, or Monday. So
and Timms is becoming way more polished.
Awesome.
Last night after he won at Billings, he thanked thanks for everybody for coming out and
starting to figure that's
fine. Yeah, or this car is really running good now.
Like to see him out there like that winning.
Seth Bergman coming out of hibernation. He finished in second after starting on the outside of the front row. Trevor Kirkland, Blake Hahn came from 9th to 4th, and Kelly Miller 5th. Not such a good night for Sam Hafertepe Jr. in the ASCS last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
He started 17th and slipped off the racetrack one time, ended up 13th. That's very unusual for Sam Hafertepe. Have a rough night in the ASCS, but that's what happened.
That's very un-Sam-like.
Also, congratulations to the winner of last night's Sprint Invaders at the Lee County Speedway in Donaldson, Iowa. Colton Fisher wins the race last night. That's the name that you probably haven't heard much about. He's from out of Danville, Iowa. Started fourth and won the race over Cam Sorrells, J.J. Hickle, Cody Worley, and Riley Goodnow, finishing in the top 5 in the Sprint Invaders at Donaldson, Iowa. Kind of a prelude for tonight's races at Knoxville.
He looks like
most of those guys will be racing at Knoxville tonight.
He looks like a tall kid, Kirk. I'm looking at this picture. You can see it there on the screen up there.
Kind of got the face of Ashton Torgerson.
He does.
A little bit.
He's got some long old arms. Boy, those arms. Good kid up there. So, like you said, an Iowa kid picked up their win. You can find all these stories on Racing Boys.
Well, he'd led on 3 other occasions in a Sprint Invader race, only to come up short. But last night, he showed his patience through lap traffic, and that proved to be the difference in Colton Fisher's win last night. Of course, we talked about this earlier in the program. Big winners in sprint car racing last night. Justin Sanders winning his second race of the week after breaking through at Placerville Speedway last Saturday night in the high limit. He's filling in for the injured Aaron Reitzel in the 87 Ridge & Sons car. Well, last night, Justin Sanders has proven to be a great choice to fill in for Aaron Reitzel because he knows these West Coast racetracks as well as anybody. And Sanders wins the Friday night preliminary after Corey Day won on Thursday night. Tonight, it pays $100,000.
That's some money.
At the Gold Cup Race of Champions at the Silver Dollar Speedway. So congratulations to both Corey Day and Justin Sanders for setting the table for tonight's big $100,000 race. Also, Buddy Kofoid charges from 9th to 1st in the World of Outlaws at River City Speedway up in Grand Forks, North Dakota last night. This is the second time that Buddy Kofoid has won at River Cities this year. So big win for him as he holds off David Gravel, who got another great finish. You know, David Gravel doesn't have to win races, although he did win a race at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, World of Outlaws debut earlier in the week. Buddy Kofoid was able to stay ahead of David Gravel, who finished second. Carson Macedo was third, Logan Schuar fourth, and Emerson Axum, the new driver for the KCP 18, finishes in 5th place last night. And a big race in non-wing sprint cars, the Sprint Cars Smackdown at Kokomo Speedway. Night 2 last night, won by Kevin Thomas Jr. He leads wire to wire in last night's feature event. And as we look down through the finishing order, Kyle Cummins, Justin Grant with a broken leg, broken foot. He's, you know, this is interesting. Justin Grant has been driving the race car.
He's got all those screws in there.
And he crawls out and he grabs these crutches so he can walk around. Justin Grant finishes third.
He's got some pretty massive screws in those in that foot. I saw the X-ray and I showed it to Kirk compared to my wrist surgery, and boy, those are some big old bolts in your feet holding that foot together. You're gonna have to if you're gonna be racing still on it. I'm sure he walks around with a boot during the week.
Which makes me wonder when Aaron Reitzel comes back when his broken foot, will he still be hobbling around on crutches?
Might be two different types.
I think the target date for Aaron Reitzel with his broken foot is the Tuscarora 50 coming up here.
Oh, there you go.
In a couple of weeks out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You remember he won.
He did win that, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, Aaron, he's a tough bird. He's had a broken nose already this year from something that hit a rock or bolt or something that came through his, you know, and he didn't miss any races with that. I think he went to the hospital, but he came back and we saw him.
Still raced with it.
Saw him in Victory Lane with.
He's been beat up.
Yeah,
battered and
black.
Bruised. He's run well when he's run though.
He has. He even said he wasn't going to put a different change. He wasn't even going to change the way the sprint car with the fencing. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I can't see. So
he suffered that broken foot at Eldora Speedway where Tyler Courtney also got injured.
Boy,
Tyler's out for the year and has got Gio Scelzi driving his race car.
Gio not doing
Gio
bad.
had a pretty good run in
Sure
that
did.
case. That Marshall,
he did.
that Clausen Marshall 7 BC last night.
And you know, when they interviewed him, I listened to an interview after one of the races that he's at, and he said, you know, it's going to take a couple races it's a little bit different than kind of
different chassis, different everything,
different setup. But
he told me that.
But you know damn well, Kirk, he's a Scelzi. And those guys will figure it out. They always do. It doesn't matter.
He's a California guy, and he knows that racetrack pretty well.
So he's already got that in his pocket. So I wouldn't worry about Gio figuring it out. He's a young man, so he's not set.
They had split fields at the Gold Cup, so half the field ran on Thursday, half last night.
I got you. Yeah.
Gio finished in second place behind Sanders last night. Tanner Thorson was coming on strong from 11th to third, and James McFadden, who started on the pole, led the early part of the race, winds up fourth ahead of Spencer Baston in the W car. Yeah, it's got no number on it, a W. And Paul Silva wrenching that car.
That's pretty
Remember,
cool.
he got booted.
He booted, didn't he?
He got booted from that ride with Jason Myers. And they're just going to go with a one-car effort with Corey Day when he's available. But getting back to the non-wing sprint cars at Kokomo last night, we're talking about Justin Grant racing with that broken foot. One driver that was not able to race last night was Robert Ballou. He's got some back issues. Robert Ballou not driving. And who was the fill-in driver?
Who's that?
Clinton Boyles.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. Remember Clinton? We saw him race last weekend at Lucas Oil Speedway and the State Fair Speedway in the Heidbreiter number 19 car. Remember, Clinton led the early laps of that race at Sedalia last Sunday night and got passed by Xavier Doney late. Looked like Clinton Boyles, he had a big lead in that race. Looked like he was going to win it. Well, now he's just, getting in different rides and doing some different things. Crew chief on the Parker Price Miller 17 at the Nationals. He was a crew chief, for several years on the Vermeer number 55 with Hunter Schoenberg.
Oh, and by the way, he was
driving. But now Clinton is sometimes a crew chief. Now he's a driver, and now he's filling in for Robert Ballou this weekend at Kokomo.
And how about, by the way, he's also a pretty damn good announcer, too, with the Chili Bowl. And,
yeah.
We spent a lot of time with Clinton during the Chili Bowl, and he's pretty damn. So what can't that cat do? He can pretty much do whatever you
do it all. But last night, Clinton had some problems last night. The car just died on him. They got it pushed into the work area, but couldn't get him back out on the racetrack. So looked like he had some mechanical issues last night after starting 9th. He ends up in 25th. So $30,000 will be up for grabs to win the Sprint Car Smackdown at Kokomo tonight. So we'll keep tabs on that throughout the evening. And, of course, we got a lot of racing to talk about this weekend. The Rumble by the River and the Lucas Oil Late Model Series out at Port Royal. Ricky Thornton Jr. picking up the win there. And in the World of Outlaws Late Models at Arrowhead Speedway in Oklahoma, Bobby Pierce rallies from about midway back to win last night. And Bobby Pierce got a little bit of a winning streak going for the World of Outlaws
getting hot, isn't he?
Models. You want to hear from Justin Sanders?
Yeah, whatever
you want to go with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've got no. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you had. No, I've got Samuel Wagner.
Samuel Wagner.
We got. So, like you said, this interview. We did this interview, Kirk, on Monday for our podcast. But these interview, we were able to keep both these guys. They were first-time winners, so they were both obviously Chris Martin and Samuel Wagner. They were happy to sit and talk with us for a while. So what you're hearing is just a very small fraction of that interview. If you guys would like to go back and listen to the full interview, just go get that podcast and download that, and you can listen to it at your leisure. But this is Sam's the brother of Jack. And
Younger brother of Jack.
And so we talk a little bit about that, but, it was pretty cool listening to Sam.
And Jack's won a few times this year.
And, well, we've had him on the show a couple times, and he even kept saying, boy, when my brother wins, you need to have him on. And well, we kept our word. We brought him on, and he was a really good interview. Like I said, that full interview, Kirk, was about, I'm not gonna lie, it was almost 30-some minutes. 28. Both of these interviews, it was almost an hour.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So, like you said, we were only going to play part of these interviews today. But if you want to go back and listen to all of those podcasts, it was a really good one.
Well, let's hear from Samuel Wagner, who picked up his first ever win last Friday night, a week ago Friday night at the Weld Memorial at Lakeside Speedway. And we spoke with Samuel Wagner on our Mostly Motorsports show earlier in this week. And here's a little bit of that interview. What were your thoughts when you crawled out of the 73 car? You finally got that first win.
I just couldn't believe I was on the top step of the podium. We've had a couple good runs the past several years down there, and haven't never seen to get all the way to the top. So it was super cool to finally pull one off, especially being the first one there at the Weld show was phenomenal.
Well, you got off to a great start. You qualified first. You started fourth in the heat race. You won it. That heat race is pretty important, wasn't it? Because that got you on the pole position, right?
Oh yeah, the passing points in the heat race and whatnot, plus the qualifying points. I mean, that was key. I think the second heat race, the guy started fourth and won it too. So a lot of passion going on at Lakeside. The place was super racy Friday night, and luckily we were able to get the pole and beat him to turn one and take it away from there.
What about the path from the opening green flag lap right down to the eventful last 4 or 5 laps when you really had to do some maneuvers around lap traffic to hold off Wyatt Burks?
Yeah, we took off for the green, and I didn't get as good a start as I was hoping for, and I think we were 3 wide going down the front stretch, and was able to get it out of 2, and then I really was just, making sure I hit my marks, and the car was a little tight, so I had to overcome that going in, and the hole in 3 wasn't helping that part of it. But no, it was just up until that red, just making sure he was hitting my marks, and we really hadn't gotten any lap traffic yet, and the red come out, and I was like, okay, well, this might be good because we're going to prolong getting the traffic, or it might be bad because now they're right on me. So.
Talk about the hole in turn 3 a little bit.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it once was, but like right there where everybody turns off the racetrack is just a dip. Like car is so long, so you go in a corner about the time you want to be sideways, and you're in the middle of that hole. So I was trying to go in there straighter and then turn the car a little late in the corner, but that way I didn't bike it and end up in the fence.
That's a pretty critical part of the racetrack, too. Kind of a dangerous part, too, for that hole to be.
Yeah, it's not an ideal place, but it's part of the characteristics of that track and stuff you got to set up around.
How much did you have to change your line through the course of the race?
Really, the bottom was so greasy all night. It started to come in late, so I had been running the top, and the longer the race went on, I'd started moving down because I figured that the back half of the cars or whoever might be running the bottom getting it ironed in, and it would come to be a lot faster than the top. So I started moving down a little bit, and I never really was comfortable on the bottom. Started running the middle of 3 and 4, and I think that was a lot faster. But there at the end, Burks come on strong, and I had to do everything I could to hold him off.
All right, let's get into those last 3 or 4 laps of the race. Burks got up beside you there as you were trying to maneuver around a lap car, and then you had to make a power move around the outside to get past him. Walk us through that series of events right there.
For a couple laps, I thought I could hear somebody behind me. I wasn't for sure if it was a lap car hanging with me or what, but I had felt like there was a car getting close, and we're going into turn 1 around a lap car, and here comes Wyatt sticking his nose underneath me, and I tried to use the lap car as a pick and, block the bottom and run the middle so he couldn't get around, but evidently there was more room underneath the lap car than I once thought, and Wyatt got in front of me in like the apex of 1 and 2, and luckily we had enough grip to drive around him and beat him back to 3, and then I slid myself in 3 and 4, and the next lap kind of ran lower than I had been, I think I used another lap car going into one, hoping he wouldn't get underneath me, and it worked out.
Oh, by the way, you had your brother Jack lurking back there as well.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be coming. He had started 7th or 8th, something like that, and I knew he'd be coming strong, so I was waiting to see the yellow nose peeking through.
So what does this mean to get that win? I remember a race at I-70 Speedway. Was that last year or the year before that? You were strong in that race. Fell just a little bit short. You had some instances where you almost picked up the win, but fell just a little bit short. But now what does this mean to finally get the win at a track that is really big for this series and a race that's really big for this series?
Yeah, we led a lot of laps last year. I-70 was probably the most in one night. I think we led the first 12 laps, and the car was great all year long. We just never could capitalize on the end of the race, so always led the wrong half. So, no, this year at Lakeside, the car was just on point all night. I mean, I can't say enough about my guys, Brett and Dad and Jack Hockett and me and Jack and everything. We're all working on the stuff, and the car was phenomenal. So to do it at Lakeside at the Weld Memorial is just phenomenal. I mean, that's one of my favorite places to run a non-wing car. It's just, to get it down there for the first time is pretty cool.
Double X Speedway. What Jesse, he was a big promoter of Double X Speedway back in the past. What's it like racing at Double X?
It's like going on vacation.
Right.
The hand scoring and the straight up line up out of the heat races and everything is my favorite, hands down. I mean, the passing points all right, but anymore, everything's so crucial on qualifying, and it's just, if you don't qualify good, you're behind the 8 ball all night, to where the way Double X does it is phenomenal. It's like back in the day racing. It's just cool.
That is old school. It kind of takes you back in time, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And Kyle and Carol down there, they're phenomenal. I mean, they're just, everything they can do to help the drivers, and it's amazing to go down there and see all the commitment from everybody associated with it.
Well, Samuel, that's a big win you got on Friday night. A lot of good things coming up. You feel like, that getting that first win makes it, I wouldn't say easier. It's hard to win these races, but just gives you a lot more confidence, obviously.
Yeah, we rolled into Lucas the following night with, quite a bit of head of steam on me. So we were pretty good in the heat race down there. And then the feature, like I said, I think I put the best 25 laps together on the top around Lucas Oil I've ever done. And hopefully we can keep building on that and hopefully win the Hockett this year.
Well, thanks for spending time with us. Congratulations again on the victory. We'll talk to you again soon. It's fun talking to both you and Jack. Jack, he gets pretty wound up, does he not?
He does. He's very animated and wound for sound all the time.
You seem a little bit more laid back.
Well, I think I just let him put on the show and take all the spotlight. So now he likes all that stuff and is good at it, and I'm usually the more quiet one, just watching from, not really behind the scenes, but watching from the background and doing my own deal and trying to outrun him.
Sam Wagner, after his Weld Memorial win. We, as Todd mentioned a little bit earlier, if you want to listen to that whole interview, just go to our podcast page at racingboys.com, and it's all up there.
I love how he said, his brother's a little bit more animated. Yeah, to say the least.
Jack's a little more animated.
When we do a Jack, you can go back and just download a Jack interview, which is not, I think we did one less than 4 weeks ago, and then go back and download Samuel's, and you can tell, you'll have a hard time telling that they're brothers because they are two totally different personalities. You know what I mean? Like, boy, Jack is up and going, man. He's
carrying on the legacy of Jesse Hockett.
Yeah, that's good
stuff.
How
big would that be if either one of those guys win at the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial?
And we talk about that with both these drivers in that podcast. We bring up the Jesse Hockett Memorial, and we talk about racing for Jack and all that stuff. And, they both had lot of, and so go back and listen to that. Both those interviews, they're really good. Like I said, we're not going to play the full things today, but good stuff from first-time winners. Like Kirk said, it's always good to have first-time winners on, man. They enjoyed making that phone call when they win, Kirk.
They love it. I never had, the thing about those guys is you never have to worry about them saying no if you ask them to come on the show.
What time? That's usually the first.
That makes it easy,
What time? So,
and we've got Xavier Doney coming on the show
he's always a good guy, too.
Monday.
Yeah.
He won the State Fair Speedway race at Sedalia, and he's the defending winner of the non-wing portion of the Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial.
How about that?
And Xavier Doney is going to do double duty at this year's Jesse Hockett Daniel McMillan Memorial. Hey, a reminder, coming up in 2 weeks at Lucas Oil Speedway, the USAC non-wing sprint cars will be in action. That's the first time we've seen them down there for a while. And so that's coming up on Saturday, September the 6th. And that's also the same weekend the ASCS non-wing sprint cars will be back to finish up the event that was lost due to the lighting going out at Lakeside Speedway.
Well, that'll be a good race.
And there's double features that night. They're going to finish up the race that didn't get finished up. I think I had a B main and an A main to finish, and then a regularly scheduled race. We'll see double features at Lakeside on Friday night, September the 5th. Saturday night, September 6th, they'll go back to 81 Speedway for that race was rained out that same weekend. And then Sunday, September 7th, they'll be at Eagle Raceway up in Nebraska. So that's a big weekend for the ASCS non-wing
And you can see that's not a bad drive for all three. You can make that drive from anywhere here in the metro. That's an easy. So you should be able to go check out some ASCS. Yeah. I'm glad to see September.
3 hours to 81 and about that same distance to Eagle.
That's right. And then Lakeside Speedway is right in my backyard. Right. So if you have any problems, just call me. I'm real close to Lakeside.
Now, before that, next weekend, the Power Eye it's the winged.
Yeah, the winged
410 sprint cars and the Power Eye War non-wing sprint cars will be at Lake Ozark Speedway for their traditional Labor Day weekend event. That's coming up next weekend at Lake Ozark Speedway.
I also saw a post on social media, Kirk. Was it the track that's for sale? It said it's still for sale. No deals have been done yet. For
Central Missouri
Speedway.
Yeah, so
they post it themselves.
They've had interest.
Yes,
they've had interest in the track.
But I saw a post from them on their social media page saying, no, the track is not sold and it is still for sale. So
Central Missouri Speedway.
Yes.
And they're having sprint cars tonight.
That's
305 sprint cars.
That's why I meant
tonight.
to bring it. That's why I brought it up.
Next weekend I was talking about was Lake Ozark Speedway.
That's right.
So,
but when I remember seeing that, I thought, oh, they're racing tonight out there, and oh, by the way, no, they have not sold it, and yes, it is still for sale.
Well, let's hear another interview that has not been heard yet. Nobody has heard this interview. It's another NASCAR driver, Daniel Suarez.
You had some pretty candid conversation with him, Kirk. And he
got laid off from Trackhouse.
Absolutely.
He's looking for a new ride because Trackhouse Racing let him go. And why is that? Well, they've got Connor Zilic in the wings.
There you
Connor
go.
Zilic is going to be a full-time Cup Series driver for Trackhouse Racing next year. And then you've got Shane Van Gisbergen, who won 4 road races this year. And suddenly, Daniel Suarez, who's won races, he won the Cup race at Atlanta last year. He's been a winner before. Would he win a road race at Sonoma too? So
Yes,
Daniel
sir.
Suarez was just on the outside looking in, and he's looking for a ride next year, but he's still racing for Trackhouse through the end of this year.
Absolutely.
And he'll be at Daytona in the Coke Zero Sugar 400 tonight. So, here is the conversation that we had with Daniel Suarez from here just a few days ago. Never before heard. Joining us now is NASCAR Cup Series driver Daniel Suarez. He drives the number 99 for Trackhouse Racing. Daniel, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing?
Well, you're coming off a couple of top 10 finishes here in the last couple of weeks. You're looking for another ride in 2026, but you got to feel better about what's going on here these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been. I feel like we've been performing better. Really, the last month or so, month and a half, without counting Iowa. Iowa wasn't very fun for us, but it's been better. We have found a little bit of speed, and it has shown on the racetrack, which is good. But obviously, we know that it's too late to be consistent. We have to wait. We have to win, and that's what we are working towards to do. We have to continue to execute a good race. I felt like in Richmond, we had a good car actually in stage 2. I felt like maybe a car to fight for the win in stage 2, and then we got behind a little bit on balance for stage 3. So we just have to continue to work in those little details, and hopefully we can execute a perfect race with a good speed car and fight for the win.
In 2024, you won one of the most exciting finishes we've ever seen at Atlanta with that 3-wide photo finish. In 2025, it's been a bit of a struggle. You had a second-place finish at Las Vegas, a couple of top 10 finishes at Talladega and Texas. What's been the biggest challenge just trying to get through the summertime?
Yeah, I mean, just to find consistency. I feel like that has been one of the biggest challenges for. I mean, I can only talk for the 99 team. Maybe in Trackhouse as a whole, but in the 99 team, finding that consistency. We went to Iowa, for example, and the car was only good enough to finish 30th. We finished 25th, I think, with it, but the car was just very bad. And then we went to Richmond, and the car was very strong. It was a top 10 car, top 5 car at times. So, finding that consistency, I feel like that's key to be able to fight for these wins, because obviously, you're not going to fight for a win when you're a 25th place car, but you can fight for a win when you're a top 5, top 10 car. So that's kind of like what we have to do, executing good races, having a speed in the consistent basis in our race cars. That's going to be key, and I believe that slowly we're getting there.
Not coming back to Trackhouse racing, was that immediate, or did you see that coming? Just when did you realize that your days at Trackhouse may be coming to an end?
No, I have known that for a while. Probably since before the season starts. To be honest, back in January, February, I start feeling things were a little bit different, and in a few different ways, the way that I felt like I was being treated. I just knew that was going to happen. That doesn't mean that I was not trying to win or not trying hard enough. Obviously, I was just trying to do my job. But I knew that change was going to be required. But listen, no hard feelings. I understand how things work in the sport. Trackhouse, the best years of my career in the Cup Series have been with Trackhouse, and that's what I'm gonna remember or try to remember of my Cup career with Trackhouse. We won some good races together. We had some good moments together. With that being said, just like everything in life, people change, companies change, and the goals changed as well with it. And I felt like it was just time for both, for Trackhouse and myself to look for something different. And I wish them nothing but the best. But for me, it wasn't a surprise. The way I got several signs that this was going to happen.
I mean, that's got to be incredibly difficult. You've known this the whole year, to come to work every day knowing that your long-term future isn't there. Just how difficult was that?
Yeah, that was the part that for me it was a little bit difficult, especially because I really, really, really love Trackhouse, and I love the people there, I love my team in the 99 team. So it was a little bit difficult in the beginning. But the good thing is that by the time that it was already out, I felt actually very good that it was out and that it was official. So, but yeah, it was definitely, if I wish it was a little bit different. I wish I didn't have any signs, to be honest. I wish I didn't have any signs, and it just happened. But the past is the past. There's nothing I can do about it. Just like I said, people make decisions, and those things we just have to live with them and move on. And no hard feelings. I have no hard feelings with everyone. Like I said, I wish Track has nothing but the very, very best. I want them to be successful. I want to win races with them still. But at the same time, I felt that for my own good, it was also good to look for something else.
Let's talk about something way more positive. The highlight has to be Mexico City winning that Xfinity race. Just how did you feel after you crossed the checkered flag in Mexico City to win that race? Just to talk about the aftermath of that.
That was probably one of the best weekends of my career. That win to me is in the same category as my first win in the Cup Series, as my championship win in Miami. That win is up there. That win is definitely up there, and it was one of the best. Actually, I think the best weekend of my career, and I will remember that forever. With that being said, I'm greedy. I want more, right? And I want to experience that again. So hopefully I get an opportunity to do that many more times in the near future.
Have you talked to a lot of people about next year? What can you give us an update on what might be happening in 2026?
Well, all I can tell you is that I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place. I'm happy how things are progressing. I'm very, very blessed to have some good sponsors that are coming with me. That they've been with me already for several years. So I'm just very, very fortunate. I'm very blessed, man, to be in this position. I believe that the future is bright. It's just right now. It's just we are putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But I'm actually very excited. I'm very, very excited for the future. But I'm trying this, and this is the tricky part. This is the very tricky part. I'm trying not to think about the future too much because I want to win. I want to win right now. So it's a little bit tricky to think and work on the future when I want to win today. So, but it's good. I think things are gonna work out. It's just taking a little bit of time. It's normal. It's part of the process. But I'm sure that things are gonna fall in place very soon.
Well, you got a couple of top 10 finishes, going to 7th place at Watkins Glen, 7th this past weekend at Richmond. How do you see Daytona coming up?
I think, Daytona, just like always, every year, it's a challenge. It's one of those racetracks that you have to be up front, you have to be in contention, but also there is a high risk racetrack, right? Most of the time when people crash there, it's not their fault, but I'm not gonna let Daytona define what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna go out there and try to execute that as good of a race as possible, and hopefully it's good enough for the win. But if it's not, I'm okay with it, and my goal is gonna continue to win a race this year.
Daniel, thanks for spending time with us. Best of luck to you this weekend at Daytona. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you.
That is Daniel Suarez, who will start on the outside of the 6th row tonight at the Coke Zero 400 at Daytona. And, Todd, I was just amazed by his honesty in that interview. He really laid it out. Yeah, and I did not know that he knew
that early
in the season, before Daytona even started, what his status was at Trackhouse Racing. He knew that this was going to be his last year at Trackhouse before the Daytona 500.
That was one of the most honest interviews we've heard from a NASCAR driver in a long time, because a lot of times they're told, they know they're hitting points, they got to say this. I don't know if you heard there at the very end, Kirk, that was the press lady saying we need to go.
Yeah.
Because we
got to go.
But Daniel, if you go back and listen to that one answer, Kirk, it was he was the one going. It wasn't like we asked one more question about the Daytona. But what I thought was very interesting was he did not keep his comment short or stout. He went ahead and explained everything.
Oh, he was terrific.
And that was a very brutally honest answer about everything he had to say. And talking about racing, knowing that already, like he said, he's juggling.
How hard is that, knowing what your status is not for the long term, and you still got to come out and do your job?
And
that has got to be so hard to do.
And he's also doing a very good job for Trackhouse Racing right now, knowing that's this is the end of it, but yet he's still carrying the ball for these guys and really pumping up everything that they have to offer. And talking about in that interview, I really would like to get another win for these guys, or a couple more wins this year for these guys. So kudos to Daniel Suarez and his whole team. Like you said, Kirk, that was I did not expect that interview to be, and when we were listening to it, I got the impression that it was, wow, he's saying some stuff. But when I went back and listened to it as I was editing this video, Kirk, oh my gosh, you could hear it in his voice, Kirk, that, he's passionate about this racing thing, and he'll get another ride. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, because everybody likes Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, and he's a good race car driver. It isn't like he's won some races, he's got good. That was just
he's won on the NASCAR Cup Series.
Yeah, and like you said, he's got a whole country pulling for him, right? So I just think it's pretty cool, man, that somebody was that honest, and we appreciate his handler there giving us that extra minute and a half. He's lined up, Kirk. You know how these things go. These NASCAR drivers, we're just one of 15 or 20 dummies that are going to be doing interviews today, right? And they don't know who they're getting. And so when we went a little long, that also means the next guy's getting pinched, and that means the next guy gets. And so
you got a 10-minute window to get these.
So by the time the fifth guy in line, and if you're a minute long on yours, well, everybody's a minute long. Well, now the last guy's 5 minutes. So we appreciate her and Matt Humphreys as well. Everybody landing these interviews for us. That's we appreciate.
Well, if he wins tonight. And as like I said before, these races are hard to predict.
Absolutely.
He's in the playoffs, so
he could win this.
Yeah, but he's got to win tonight. He's so far out.
Yeah,
so.
But he could do it.
So you want to try to work this?
I don't know,
Chris Martin interview in or not?
We're real close, man. Why don't we start it and then we'll?
Yeah, we can play some of it. Chris Martin was the 410 Wing Sprint Car winner at Lakeside Speedway a week ago on Friday night. He was also a guest on Mostly Motorsports earlier this week. Let's hear some of that interview from Chris Martin, who we'll see tonight at Knoxville. He's going to be racing up there at the Knoxville Raceway, and this was from Monday's Mostly Motorsports. Chris Martin. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining us. You're a big winner at Lakeside Speedway on Friday night. Your first 410 win. How big was that?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome to finally pull 410 win off for myself and my team, and it, especially from a place that's almost a home away from home. Just being 3 hours right down the road.
Had you been to Lakeside before?
Yeah. So we've been going to Lakeside throughout the years, mainly 360 racing, and our first 410 race there was the first high limit race there here last year, and we went this year again, and we were able to make a trip down this past Friday.
You talked about 360 racing. Talk about that a little bit.
And how that sets you up for where you are now.
So, just where we're based out of, it just made a whole lot of sense to do a whole lot of 360 racing, and we did a whole lot of ASCS racing. We did the whole national tour in 2018, which was a ton of fun and learned a lot. And as things changed with the environment and everything, just 410 racing just kept on getting bigger and bigger, and Huset's reopened up, and with POWRi and now High Limits racing nationally, it just made more sense for us to go more 410 racing. So here last year, we kind of buckled down and expanded our 410 inventory, and we said, let's hit it.
Explain why you went 410 racing.
Really, we really thought that was just the next step of our team needed to make, and for my progression in this sport was to do more 410 racing and hopefully take it more national racing here in the future. And we got a new crew chief last year, and we thought utilizing him, we could definitely make huge gains with our 410 program.
Are you going to run up at Knoxville a little bit?
Well, he has been, right?
Yep. So I think we raced there all year. We're currently 9th in points. Definitely showed good speed at times at Knoxville, and more speed than I have ever shown there, and I have felt. So I've been just super grateful for the speed and the opportunity. And we have one last weekend here this Saturday night.
You got Danny Lasowski helping you out on the car. How'd you get hooked up with Danny?
Oh, shoot. So we were down at East Bay in spring of 2024 for their final race, and he was helping our friend Lance Moss that weekend, and he came up to us, and he said, hey, you want to work with me? And I'll be honest with you guys, I was a little he's not too tall in stature, but man, he definitely has an intimidating look and personality, and I never really spoke to him before, and I said, well, that's a dumb question. Of course I want to work with you. You know, you're pretty well rounded.
That's how you met him, huh? He just walked up to you and said, hey, like what you guys are doing, let's work together, huh?
Yeah. We kind of knew him throughout the years of racing Knoxville and just being around at the same place at the same time. And he knew we were looking for a crew chief, and he definitely pays attention to everything, and he saw some more potential in me than what I was showing at the time, and he liked the operation with a family-owned team. You know, he said father-son racing kind of reminded him of his own deal, and you know, me and my dad have been doing this for sprint car racing for 10 years now. So he liked what he saw from the outside and wanted to learn more about it.
You know that we did a behind the wheels episode with Danny Lasowski, didn't we, Kurt?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Of course, Danny, we kind of figure he's one of our local guys around Kansas City, and of course watched him throughout his whole career. He's a 4-time Knoxville Nationals champion, and he won the World of Outlaws Championship one year. So Danny, the all-time leader at Knoxville, who better to get advice from as a guy that's won 112 victories at Knoxville Raceway, huh?
Yeah, it's just incredible to listen to all of his intel, and man, I think he's 66 now, but he still has very good eyes, and he definitely points out all the good and all the bad, and brings everything to light, and also discusses things with me and how we can do better with the car, also my driving and different scenarios and different parts of the racetrack. And man, he's just been super great to work with. I tell him, and I'll tell everyone, I'll be forever grateful for the time I've spent with him, and I'm excited for some more.
Yeah, there's nobody that run the racetrack at Knoxville Raceway better, especially on the low side of the racetrack. We always kind of saw Danny as liking the bottom of the racetrack. Does that also fit your style?
Shoot, really, when we brought him on board with our team, he's kind of restructured us, and I'm learning more about myself and the way I like to drive, and I definitely like the bottom of the side of the racetrack at Knoxville at times, but also I really enjoy ripping the lip, and it just we struggled for so many years at Knoxville, and he just brought a whole new light of joy of going back there and seeing success and speed at different times of the night, and I'll be. Yeah, it's just awesome what he can do and teach.
Yeah.
Chris Martin, portion of that interview from Monday's Mostly Motorsports show, and you can hear all of the interviews on our podcast section on raceboys.com, and Scott will be joining us for Monday's show, and we look forward to that. We have Xavier Doney on the show on Monday, and we'll line up another guest or two.
Still got races to go on tonight. Never know who's going to win.
That's right.
I tell you what, if you're going to race today, have fun out there. It's not going to be one of those hot days like we've been having, so spend some extra time out there. Go around, buy some T-shirts.
Got a lot of options tonight.
A lot of options tonight. You could
drag races up at US 36 Raceway. We got the season championship at Knoxville, 305 sprints at Central Missouri Speedway. This is all from driving distance within Kansas City. Todd, before I go.
Yes, sir.
Went to the Heart concert the other night.
I had a lot of friends that went to that concert. I saw a lot of video being posted. Pretty good.
Ann Wilson can still belt. She can still belt it out.
Yeah, she's got pipes from days.
She sat down a lot of the time. She also stood up. She walked off stage when it was over.
Yeah, there for a while she was confined for a wheelchair for a little while. Now she's starting to get her mobility.
Well, she was
back.
Walking around a little bit.
She sat
some of the time.
Yeah, but her voice is...
And her voice is as good as ever.
It's good to see the two sisters not arguing right now. You know, there was a little while there where they were both touring.
They weren't getting along?
They wasn't getting along a little bit, just touring separately. And
I never thought I'd ever live to see the day. I never saw them in concert back 50 years ago, so I never thought I'd live to see the day that I would get to see them.
I told Kirk Ellie about the concert a couple months ago, and then he texts me and shows me a picture.
The soundtrack of my college days from 45 to 50 years ago.
Kirk had the picture, and he said, "Look where I'm at. Got me a ticket. Wait."
Todd Rundgren was the opening act. Now that's a blast from the past.
And you know, he's a pretty big producer of music as well too. He's a producer, not just creator of music. He produces a lot of people's albums and stuff. So good for you, Kirk Elliott.
Good.
Got out there and got some, and so you got
First
a big
concert I'd been to this year.
You've got a big football game coming up here in just a little bit.
Yes, sir. We got to bail out of here. We got 11 o'clock start for Iowa State and K-State, so we got to watch that.
Lots of local racing, and then NASCAR tonight.
Scott, I'm not sure if you're going to. Scott will be out racetrack tonight.
He got his sleep, so he might be able to
He's
get
all rested up, ready to go.
He might be able to go watch somebody race somewhere. So have fun out there. Buy a T-shirt. Make sure you spend some money at the track. They all need it. If you're going to Lakeside, have fun out there. We know it's a Saturday night race, a little different, so that's another option.
Drive careful wherever you go. Todd, thanks for as always.
Thank you, man.
We'll be back here on Monday. Scott will be back in the big chair on Monday as well. Thank you for tuning in. We're brought to you by Rod End Supply, home of the Power Eye Midwest Lightning Sprints. I'm Kirk Elliott. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.